But I wanted to do a video about all the so far announced, with mostly having a release date, video game adaptations for 2023, because this is going to be the big year. This is the big year that's going to change everything. Of course, before we do any of that, don't forget to like and subscribe and blah blah blue and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to get into all the confirmed release dates for any video game adaptations 2023. So yeah, of course we already know this one that's on right now. It debuted February 19th and it's already a smash hit. It has a 9.2 rating on IMDb. Don't know what its rating is on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm sure it's high, but I've always been more of an IMDb person. I mean, maybe because I grew up on it and Rotten is a little newer, but I've always found that IMDb's ratings are pretty close to how I feel anyways, more than on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, Last of Us is halfway through the season, already a huge hit, season 2 already announced, highly rated already. But we're going to move on to finally talk about something that's not Last of Us. Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's officially coming out on April 7th, 2023. So that's coming out in like 2 months from now. It's like, I'm not like, hugely hyped or whatever, but I'm obviously going to check it out just out of pure interest for the subject matter and that it's an adaptation. And this is the first big theatrical release for a Mario movie since the debacle that was Super Mario Brothers. We all know how that turned out. I don't even know if I've actually seen that, to be honest. Maybe I did, but maybe I just wiped it from my memory. But this one is fully CG animated and it's going to be voiced by Chris Pratt. Jury's still out on if Chris Pratt is going to be any good as a Mario, because I wasn't impressed by what I was hearing in the trailer. Haven't heard what he sounds like yet for Donkey Kong, I don't believe. Maybe his voice is in the trailer. Actually, he might be in it and it might be very distorted, which is the first time for Seth doing a voice role, because he kind of just always uses his own voice, just like Charlie Day. It sounds like he's just going with his exact voice as well, but maybe a slight Italian twist to it. That's kind of what they're both doing, which is kind of weak. Jack Black as Bowser. He's going to be great because Jack Black's always great. And I think Keegan-Michael, his voice is slightly sped up in the game, in the trailer, to because you can kind of hear him, but he's slightly sped up. And Anya Taylor-Joy kind of just doing her regular white woman voice. But that could be interesting. I'm going to check it out April 7th. Next, officially, we have Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and I could care less about this, period. I mean, I'm sure I'll see it, but I just really don't have no interest in it. Not that it looks really all that bad. Everything right here is the first time I'm seeing it. It could be good. Who knows? I mean, the cast is okay. You got these guys, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldson, who are both kind of been doing lots of comedy writing the past few years. But yeah, the cast, I got Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, so who knows? It could be cool. This one I feel like isn't as hyped as any other release coming out this year. But it's not coming out on March 31st, right? So the directors, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. John Francis Daly is actually once a kid actor. He was in Freaks and Geeks. So yes, that is Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. I have no interest in this, but I'll still see it. So, and now coming expected August 11th. So maybe it's not confirmed 100% just yet. I mean, the trailer they have right here, you can see is one of those info trailers. It's half trailer, half behind the scenes. But honestly, because I hadn't been paying much attention, wasn't not aware that this was directed by Neil Blomkamp, which has actually helped pique my interest a lot more. Neil Blomkamp's a pretty cool director. I mean, he hasn't been as huge as he was in the past few years. He's you don't really hear about him as much. So who knows? This could be the fact that he's directing it. It instantly made me more interested. And David Harbour and Orlando Bloom and this guy who's in everything. He's like one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, and I still can't pronounce his name. But at the same time, I have no idea what this movie is going to be about or whatnot at all. I don't have the story. That's coming out August 11th. Now we have The Witcher Season 3, which so far all I'm seeing is a summer 2023 release date. Yeah, season 3, episode 1. It just says 2023 unless on the actual. No, see, it doesn't have any solid release date yet. But this is the last season where we're gonna have Henry Cavill as Geralt, which is unfortunate, but he's cut ties with the show and they're gonna replace him, which I don't know how that's gonna go, because I was actually really impressed by how good Henry Cavill was in this as Geralt. It actually changed my opinion on him as an actor, to be honest, because he was really good in this, and I never thought much of him before as an actor. Nothing in a bad way, I just was like, whatever, he's alright, but he was really good in the show. Also, just kind of, there are dates saying it's going to come out in 2023, but we're not 100% sure yet. But the Fallout TV series, which is probably the most hyped thing coming out, hopefully soon for me, interest-wise, because I love the Fallout series, video game series, so it'd be very interesting just to see how this turns out. And it's actually written and directed, right? But I'm interested because Jonathan Nolan is involved, and he makes good stuff. He did Westworld, and he co-wrote some of the Batman Nolan movies, so the fact that he's on there, which definitely helps pique my interest. Plus, Walton Goggins is in it, and I've always dug him as an actor. Kyle MacLachlan is cool, you know. I like him as an actor. So yeah, I have pretty high hopes for this show, and right now I think they don't really have a firm 2023 release date, so it would be like in the second half, like maybe in the summer or in the fall. But I'm excited for this one. Now, Borderlands is a film, and this one had to go into reshoots because it was supposed to, I think it was shot like a finished shooting a year ago from what I've read, but they've had to go back to do some reshoots because they hired Tim Miller. Eli Roth left, and Tim Miller came in to reshoot. But it's also cool is that Craig Mazin, who's the writer-creator of The Last of Us, the show that's currently on right now and amazing, is the co-writer of this. So that makes me interested as well, because I actually really love the Borderlands video game series. So the fact that Craig Mazin's on here that's always a good sign now. Like, seeing his name on anything is kind of could become a guarantee, depending on if everything he comes out with is consistently quality like The Last of Us, because everything that comes out after that show is going to be compared to that, basically. Like, is it as good or better than The Last of Us? But I'm still interested to see how this turns out, because this one I have no clue about whatsoever. There's been no trailers. So far, all they've released is like an image of silhouettes of characters, and it doesn't even really tell you, it doesn't even really have a plot. It just says, based on the video game in Pandora, where people are searching for a mysterious relic. Well, that's kind of what you do in the game, so it doesn't really tell you much. But this one I'm interested in seeing for sure. The last one on this list, I don't think it's been released yet. Yet somehow it says 2022 and has a rating, but I don't know how, because none of these ratings have any writing for it, so I don't know if these are real ratings or just made up ratings. I've only played a little bit of Twisted Metal back in like when it first came out on PlayStation, and it was a cool game. I liked it, but it was another one of those weird, like, they're gonna adapt that? Who knows? But I'm all for anything being adapted, because who knows how it could turn out. Could be really cool. Like, all these adaptations could turn into more adaptations of that same series, or a spin-off. Like, the world that this could all open up could be potentially absolutely huge. It could just go on for years and years and years. Just adaptations in general. But this one, again, it has a 2023 release date, but there has been not any official confirmed release date yet. So yeah, episode 1.1, who knows? So yeah, Will Arnett's in it as the voice of Sweet Tooth. Thomas Hayden Church, he's cool. Neve Campbell is kind of cool. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. I guess she's still been acting, I just have not seen her around. But what's also cool is that Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick are the writers, who are the writers on the Deadpool movies and the Zombieland movies. And so it's cool that these guys are working on this, and then Tim Miller, who directed the first Deadpool, is working on the reshoots for Borderlands, so you have some good pedigree here. These aren't just a bunch of whatever. These are people who wrote good stuff and good actors, so they're really trying to take video game adaptations serious and not just be a cash grab. Because yeah, it's a cash grab, but at least they're attempting to make quality shows with good writers and good directors and good actors. So I'm really excited for this year and the overall future, but I'm really excited for the overall future of the video game adaptation space, because this year is going to be a big year. It's going to be the year where it all kind of changes, and then potentially they could be on an MCU level of popularity, at least quality maybe. I'm sure a lot of these movies will have very different budgets. Like the budget for a Mario CG film definitely wouldn't be the same as the budget for a Dungeons and Dragons live action film. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm excited. So I hope you guys are too, and let me know below which one of these you're most hyped for, maybe which ones that you don't really care about at all, but you're still going to see because it's an adaptation of a video game. Alright, well, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and keep gaming out.